What have you done today? You woke up, checked the weather, maybe bought a cup of coffee or played with your kids. Did you help save a life? You can. And not just one. You can be part of a community working to save millions of lives and improve the future of millions more. And you don't have to move to Africa. You can do this simply with a phone call, an email, simply by using your voice. Using your voice to answer Jesus' call when he says, "Amen. I say to you, whatever you did for one of these least brothers of mine, you did for me." Right now, through the United States Conference of Catholic Bishops and Catholic Relief Services initiative, Catholics Confront Global Poverty, the Catholic community in the U.S. is doing its part to help our brothers and sisters living in poverty around the world. And there's been a lot of progress. Since 1990, childhood deaths in the developing world have been cut by 1/3. And with common immunizations to protect against diseases like polio and measles, every year we save 3 million lives. 50 million more children went to school for the first time in the last decade. You may be thinking, this is all great news, but what does it have to do with me? Well, this is where you come in. Your voice is needed to make sure this good work continues, because cuts cost lives. Did you know that less than 1% of our country's budget is spent on poverty-focused international assistance? Actually, it's only 0.5%. Yes, 0.5% for the entire world. But right now, this life-saving, life-changing aid is at risk of being significantly cut by some politicians, even though it's just a tiny percent of federal spending. CRS combines this U.S. aid with your generous donations to help those in need. Any cut would have life or death consequences for the world's poorest, most vulnerable people, like mothers in our maternal health programs who just want to see their babies thrive.
They told us that we had to weigh our children every month, to take them to the health center if they are sick. And to gain weight, they explained to us the foods and how we should care for them. With all the advice they've given to us and the visits, I've been able to make my child gain weight.
You can speak out. Make your voice heard. You can say, cuts cost lives. If you walked by a hungry child on the street, would you do something? Don't the children and families who live on the other side of the world deserve the same? With this funding in jeopardy, it's up to you to take action. Because we are blessed to live in a democracy that values the input of its citizens. With this gift comes responsibility. Urge your elected officials to deal with our nation's deficits, but not by cutting this tiny percentage of critical funding that will have life and death consequences for poor and vulnerable people overseas. Tell your members of Congress that cutting 0.5% of our nation's budget will not change our country's financial situation, but that these cuts will cost lives. Say it with a phone call, an email, a letter. Ask your friends, family, neighbors, fellow parishioners to get involved. Learn ways to take action on our website. You can answer this call right now. Go to confrontglobalpoverty.org so that tomorrow you can look back at what you did today and know that you did something good, meaningful, and important. You helped save a life. For more information, visit confrontglobalpoverty.org.